What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam and welcome back to a Comically Boston Breakdown episode. And today we are talking about the season finale for Star Wars Skeleton Crew Episode 8, titled The Real Good Guys. And I really liked this series, and shockingly, I believe this series hasn't been doing too well streaming wise. The numbers returning aren't that good. I think I saw a post the other day that was something like the Acolyte first couple episodes was 488 million minutes streamed, and this was only 380 something million minutes streamed. Still sounds like a lot, but if it's significantly less than the Acolyte, what is the cause of the viewership here for the Skeleton Crew? Is it just timing? Was people busy during Christmas and New Year's and it's just a busy time of year? There's a lot of other stuff coming out in theaters and on TV and a lot of people are just busy. Is it that's making it so people aren't getting this show and aren't getting to it, streaming every week? I believe the show is really great and it's gonna grow by word of mouth over time, but I don't see what there's not to like about this. It's like Goonies meets Star Wars in pirates in space. Like, it's cool. And Jude Law plays a space pirate Jedi. It's interesting enough just from, the points that you point out. I had a really good time watching this show, and I think it will grow, and I hope there does get to be a season 2. But the way it ends, it could just be done right here, or they could have the possibility to go further in a season 2. They left it very open, where it could be over or it could go further. If you guys want it, we'll do it, that type of thing. Unfortunately, I think some of the Acolyte and the people that hate Star Wars and the people that, I don't watch Disney Star Wars, those people are so stupid and I hate all of them. Fortunately, I haven't heard or seen much hate for this show, so maybe those haters just took our advice from the Acolyte and, hey, if you're just gonna hate things and not like it, don't watch it. So maybe that's why there's not such viewership, because all these haters and bullshit people aren't watching it. But hey, for us fans that are actually enjoying it, let's get right in here to the finale of Episode 8 of Skeleton Crew, titled The Real Good Guys, directed by Jon Watts, the showrunner of the series. He directed Episode 1 in the finale, so yeah, and he was also the director of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, so I like Jon Watts quite a bit, and I like what he came up with for this series, and I like how they did it. So, all Skeleton Crew episodes are now streaming on Disney+. Go check them out if you haven't. All breakdown episodes for Skeleton Crew Season 1 are on the channel currently, so go check out those if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much. But coming off of last episode, Jude got punched in the face by SM-33.
33, get these pirates off our ship!
I'm afraid it doesn't work like that.
It's always good to see Jude getting punched in the face. But he also found the vaults in here at Atten and all the gold and all the credits that this man found, and he was very excited. But last episode ended on him turning on the lightsaber and pointing it towards the kids and his parents. I don't know, or is he about to kill these parents? Is what my thoughts were at the end of last week's episode. But where do we pick up this week? I love the poster here. It's of Jude holding that lightsaber with his Captain Silvo hat and jacket and outfit. I do kind of love that it's like the Star Wars Jedi Survivor games where you can wield a pistol and a lightsaber at the same time. I kind of like that. And the fact that we got that in live action is kind of cool. I don't think we saw him actually, wielding them both at the same time, but you can see he's clearly got a gun in his holster while he's holding that lightsaber. And yeah, I really liked Jude Law in this series, and probably one of my favorite Jude Law characters. But he is a well-known actor and has been in the business for a long time. But this fan-made poster was made by CM Low Art on Twitter, so go check out her if you haven't. I'm still getting over a bit of a cold here myself in Massachusetts, so bear with me if my voice or nose or something sounds weird in this video. But We open this episode right where we left off the last episode, with Jude pretending to be a Republic emissary, and he says, "Fern, you should accompany me to see the supervisor." And her mother says, "Well, I should join her then." And he goes, "Oh, good, both of you should come, and I'll take great care of both of you." And then the intro comes in, and you're like, ooh, the title card, Skeleton Crew, last time, baby. Then we cut to Wim talking to his dad, and he got brought back to his house, and they're being watched by the droids because Jude told the droids to take them back to their house and keep them on lockdown and report back to me if they're doing anything or saying anything crazy. So everyone's pretty much on lockdown except for Fern and her mom. They're joining Jude to go figure out who the supervisor is. So they go and meet the supervisor, and they walk in, and it's like a dark room, and Fern's mom and Fern and Jude are all standing there like, okay, what's going on here? Who's here? Is there anybody alive up here? And it turns out that the supervisor that they're going to meet is just a giant droid. So this is an entire planet run by a giant droid with a red eye. And then on the planet is a bunch of droids with, you know, the camera eyes themselves. So all of this entire planet is run by droids. I thought for sure we were going to get to this point and it was going to be a person that was up here running shit and, you know, being corrupt. And apparently I was wrong. It's more of a Space Odyssey, 2001's A Space Odyssey. Isn't that kind of the red eye glow? You know what I mean? Like that kind of sentient, crazy AI being that's controlling everything. And the supervisor says he didn't think that the emissary would ever be coming. It's been years since an emissary has come. So meaning that this is like an old Republic planet making old Republic credits, and now we're in the phase of the new Republic, I believe. I wish they explained just a touch more like why this was a planet and like what was this planet like before, or like, you know, narrow down exactly timeline wise where we are, because I'm still trying to figure out, are we post, you know, in between Revenge of the Sith, or no, are we in between episode 6 and in 7, in between the final of the original trilogy and Rey's Force Awakens, right? Like, are we in between that time, or are we after the sequel trilogy, or are we before? I don't know. But comment below if you know exactly timeline-wise where we are. But so as Jude's trying to trick the droid, you know, supervisor, Fern says he's a pirate trying to get to the mint, and the supervisor's like, get him. Jude slices up a couple of the droids trying to get him, and then stabs the supervisor droid in the eye, and all the droids and all of the power shuts down on the entire planet. You know, so you took out the supervisor, pretty much wiped out Aten as a planet, right? Everything powered off. Jude then has to convince Fern's mom to let his other ship through the barrier and land. And then as she allows him to do this, he messages to Urkel and the other pirates on the bigger ship and says, "Start the invasion!" So he is a bad guy. He's just a dickhead. I thought I liked Jude, but no. Jude's a bad guy. So the big ship comes hovering down, and it like hovers over a small town and starts laying fire on it. And the shots of this ship over this small community looked fucking awesome. I don't know if they were miniature work like the crab in the previous episodes, but it looked great. And then KB and Neel show up at Wim's house on hover bikes, and the three of them take off to go and save Fern. But Wim's dad wants to come along too, so he steals the bike from the douchebag earlier in the season that was being mean to KB and Fern, steals his bike and starts going with them. They do this sick hover bike jump over a ravine. They have to go full throttle to make it, and they make it. And Wim's dad is so funny right here. Like, he's fully a part of the kids group, and he like is a kid again, and like he lands on the other side. He's like, "Woo! Did you see that? That was sick!" And he's like, "Dad," you know, like Wim's finally getting a cool moment with his dad, where like everybody else had these loving parents, and like we still didn't really find out what happened to Wim's mom. And so, you know, him and his dad getting a moment to be cool together was just cool for Wim, you know. But as they're racing away on their hover bikes, Neel's bike gets shot out, and he says, "Go on without him, I have a plan." And Neel is going to find the turbo laser that he found on Hana's planet that she showed him on her planet, and he's like, "Yes, just like on Hana's planet." So Neel is running defensive countermeasures for the team here and manning the turbo laser. So I love Neel so much. Such a sweet little boy. So as Neel goes to the turbo laser, they make it to the ship. KB stays with the ship because they have to get the power back on to get the clamps off of the ship. So Wim and his dad go to save Fern and turn the power back on. Jude then makes an announcement to the citizens of Atten that he's taking over. And then Wim makes it to the supervisor's tower and he walks in kind of by himself and you're like, damn Wim, you're such a fucking cool little kid. You got balls, son, going up against a lightsaber and Jude like this. But this kid spent 6 episodes with Jude, so he's not necessarily afraid of him. He just knows he's a bad guy. But Wim is actually just distracting Jude as Wim's dad sneaks in and gets the power back on. And as he turns the power back on, Jude starts to shoot at him. I was nervous here for a second. I thought Jude was going to shoot Wim's dad and kill him. And now Jude looks like a madman and he's losing it. And with the power back on, KB takes off in the ship with Jude's credits, and SM-33 is powered back on. So I knew he wasn't dead. So she's like holding his head and he's helping her fly away. Neel uses the turbo laser to cover her so the ship doesn't get shot out of the sky as they're heading up into orbit. As they get out of the system, KB sends the message to the Owl Lady to get the X-Wings to come and help them, but her ship gets hit and starts going down. Fern and Wim think that she crashes, so Fern wants to destroy the barrier, you know, for her love or friend or KB, her best friend that might be dead, we don't know. And so they both try and start pulling the barrier shut-off switch and you know, destroy the barrier. And Wim says to Jude, "You're no Jedi, you lied. Now the real good guys are coming." The title of the episode, The Real Good Guys. And Jude says, "There's no one coming to save you, boy." And then we get Jude's backstory. And what is he? Is he a Jedi? What's his deal? So this is what we get told. We don't see any of it. We're just told this in dialogue. But Jude says his backstory is a woman Jedi found him in a hole in the ground. And he says she may have been desperate and ragged like him, but she said he had potential. And he was only taught a little bit before they made him watch as they killed her. And he doesn't say who they are, and he doesn't say who her is. So all we know is that Jude was a young boy. Jedi found him, said he had potential, so like he has the potential to be a Jedi, but he only really knows how to force push, force pull, you know, take cups off your list. You know, he only knows basic force stuff. He doesn't know a whole lot. He knows how to wield a sword, but he might have learned that from pirates, you know, so he's just applying the same shit to the lightsaber. But so then it sounds like Jude's master, whoever she was, got Order 66 right in front of him. So he says that the galaxy is dark with a few pinpricks of light, and for those, I'll kill who I need to kill. And I was like, damn, Jude, you're such a mean man. But this is still a pretty vague backstory, just told by dialogue, just to get Wim to let go of the barrier shut-off switch. And it's like, what the hell? And then Jude's like, I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to damage this beautiful planet. And, you know, then he starts droning on, and Wim's dad punches Jude in the face. Jude drops his lightsaber. Fern's mom ends up running over and pulling the barrier shut-off switch, as Wim is standing there with a lightsaber next to Fern, and they look like Princess Leia and Luke, and young Wim finally gets to look like a lightsaber holding Jedi. He's finally a real Jedi, at least he looks like one. Wim, you're such a cool little cat. But her mom pulled the switch, so we see the whole storm around the planet and the whole barrier disappear, and it looked pretty damn cool, seeing the green just disappear, and then all of a sudden stars appear in the sky, and you're like, whoa. It almost like it was like a cool ass fireworks show, right? Like just it disappears, and then all of a sudden it's pretty stars. And your planet is now not trapped by gas, you know, or whatever, storm. As the barrier shutoff comes down, we see that X-Wings were waiting outside this planet trying to get through, and as soon as the barrier goes down, the X-Wings come in and start taking over the pirates and wiping them out. And we see Jude looking out the window here as he just watches as his big ship goes down. And he kind of smirks as the kids, as they realize, oh my god, KB. So the kids and the mom run off to go see if KB's alive and the ship, what happened to it after it crashed. And Jude looks out this window at the gray shot as the ship crashes, and it looks phenomenal. Like, the VFX in this show looked so damn good. And Jude's like little smirk and just kind of like, this is where we leave him. He's just kind of like, wow, the kids pulled it off. And maybe there is hope in the galaxy, and maybe he could turn into a good guy eventually. But as of the moment, all of his pirates and the different ships, and the ship's shooting down his pirate ship, and the ship hits the ground, like, all of it looked so damn good. And I was just like fascinated looking at it, like, whoa, this looks phenomenal. For a Disney Plus show, it looks this good. Lucasfilm's VFX department and the people they have in-house doing all that shit are the best. They know what they're doing. So we see that KB crash landed in a building, and she comes flowing out of the bottom of the ship with all the credits, and it seems like she's just kind of like floating down this river of gold. And it's just shit cracked me up. But then, you know, you're worried for a second. You're like, oh my god, is KB dead? So then the kids run over. KB wakes up and says, did we win? And they're like, yes, yeah, we won, you know. And then SM-33 comes out holding his own head and goes, yup, one of my better landings. You know, I'm just like, dude, you crash landed in a building. But okay, whatever you say, SM-33, I'm with it. And then one of the kids says, hey, Wim, looks like you won't have to take assessment anymore. And then Wim stares off into the sky at the X-Wings and the New Republic ships coming to land on Aten, and the credits roll. And I'm like, oh my god, that's the end? Like, they left it so open that they could do another series, or they might not, you know, whatever they want to do, they have the possibilities. But so Jude's alive, the whole crew's alive, SM-33, everybody, you know, everybody's still there. And if they want to do a second season, they definitely could. But apparently this isn't the best viewing Star Wars show. I'm more excited for Ahsoka Season 2 and, you know, The Mandalorian Season 4. That's going to be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. But hey, it sounds like we got more Star Wars stuff coming in 2025 and in 2026, so hopefully, oh, we also have Andor coming out this year. You know, Andor Season 2, criminally underrated show. If you haven't seen Andor Season 1, I highly recommend that. That show is awesome. And it's like not necessarily as Star Wars as this show, where this show feels a lot more Star Wars with the ships, with the lightsabers. The other show, Andor, is all the things you love about Star Wars, but like in a grounded, personal story about a guy in the rebellion versus a Jedi, you know what I mean? So it's just a different perspective of a story, but it's still really great. And, you know, I'm thinking a second season of this could be great, and just if they give it time and let word of mouth grow this show a little bit and just leave it streaming on Disney Plus. I don't think they should announce like next week, oh, the viewership wasn't there, so we're canceling Acolyte Season 2, right? Like literally a week or two after the finale of Acolyte, they were like, oh, we're canceling it, no Season 2 for the Acolyte. And it ended on a cliffhanger where you were like, I kind of want to see what happens next. Where this doesn't necessarily end on a cliffhanger, but I don't think Lucasfilm should just say, hey, we're done, we're not going to do that, you know, like, just leave the possibility open for the future if you want to, you know. But that's it for me. Comment below your favorite things about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. I know Neel Nation, I mean, Neel is my boy. Wim, the kids, the Goonies feel of it all. Jude Law, I actually really liked as Jude, Captain Silvo, and all the different names that he had. And, you know, he's cool. I think he can become a good guy, maybe train to be a Jedi. I would love for, you know, the Mandalorian and these guys to end up butting heads somehow, you know, them connecting somehow, some way. You know, like Jason Syndulla, Hera's son, I would love to be boys with Wim, you know, like that was something I saw going around. Chopper and SM-33, like I would love to see them chopping it up. This show is really fun, and I had a good time, and I hope you guys had a good time as well watching this. And if you guys watched all of the breakdowns, I really, really appreciate you. Let's talk more Star Wars. Comment below your favorite Star Wars thing, whatever, you know, comment below, let's talk Star Wars. Or you can message me on my other social medias, links down in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that is by liking this video, subscribing if you're new, and hitting that bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you guys so much. My name is Big Cam, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.